Val Kilmer has died.
Yeah, sad news this morning. Best known for his roles in Top Gun, he was Batman Forever, played in Tombstone. He died in Los Angeles, we're told, surrounded by his family and friends.
The camera opens in darkness. Soft echoes of applause fade into a long, empty silence. A spotlight flickers and rests on an abandoned film set. A batsuit hangs untouched, the gloss faded with dust. Nearby, a Top Gun helmet sits cracked, lonely on a shelf. A slow pan glides over faded scripts, yellowing photos, props, personal journals. There are fingerprints on everything, as if time itself is holding its breath. Then, a voice, deep, tender, breaks the quiet. He once said, "I have lived a magical life. I've taken my hits, but I've also soared." Stillness, April 1st, 2025. The headlines hit like a gut punch. Val Kilmer, one of Hollywood's most enigmatic talents, was dead. 65. Gone. Pneumonia, his daughter Mercedes confirmed. But truthfully, his silence had begun long before. This wasn't just about a death. It was about a slow vanishing, the fading of a once thunderous presence into something fragile, something almost invisible. He was always different, always distant, like a star just beyond reach. He carried mystery like a second skin, rarely understood but impossible to ignore. Val Edward Kilmer was born in Los Angeles in 1959, but not into glamour. His childhood was fractured. His parents divorced when he was 9. Tragedy came later. His younger brother Wesley drowned at just 15. Val never spoke about it much, but that pain soaked into everything he created. It became a part of his fabric, a wound that never fully closed. It was the phantom always behind his smile, behind the characters that bled more truth than fiction. His grief lived in shadows.
Has died at the age of 65. He was best known for his role as a fighter jet pilot Iceman in Top Gun. He starred in a host of other films many of you will know, including Batman Forever, Willow and Heat. But in 2015, he'd been diagnosed with throat cancer. And let's talk more about this. We're joined this morning by Molly Malone. Great to have you with us. So this breaking news, really sad, and no age really, at 65 years old.
Yeah, young age of 65 years old.
And those shadows made their way into his art. He wasn't interested in fame. He was chasing meaning. At 17, he became one of the youngest actors ever accepted into Juilliard. He didn't act. He became. His classmates saw it. Teachers knew it. There was a fire in him, something ancient and restless. Hollywood wasn't ready for it. But Val didn't care. He wasn't trying to fit in. He was trying to feel. His breakout? Not the tortured roles we know him for, but comedy, Top Secret, where he played a hip-swinging American singer in Cold War Berlin. The world laughed, but Val's eyes always hinted at more. They hinted at sadness, at layers. Then came Top Gun, Iceman, the rival to Tom Cruise's Maverick. He was cool, controlled, lethal. But behind the scenes, he was starting to feel the Hollywood machine chewing at his soul. There was pressure to smile, to charm, to obey. And that just wasn't him. He didn't want to be a star. He wanted to be an actor.
At the age of 65, his daughter says the actor died from pneumonia. Kilmer was known for portraying Batman and rock icon Jim Morrison, of course, Iceman in Top Gun series, many other roles. He rose to prominence in the 1980s and had an acting career spanning 4 decades.
A shapeshifter, a vessel. Then came The Doors. Val didn't just play Jim Morrison, he became him. He sang like him, moved like him, lived like him. It scared people. Directors said he went too far. But it was never an act. Val was always searching for truth, for connection, for something deeper.
Of actor Val Kilmer. To Gen Xers everywhere, he was known simply as Iceman.
the call sign of one of the most beloved movie antagonists of the 1980s. Kilmer, at age 26, skyrocketed to fame in 1986's Top Gun. It was just his third feature film. He inhabited several famous roles throughout his long career. He took a turn as Batman, earned critical success for playing Jim Morrison of The Doors, also had high-profile turns in other news in Top Gun Maverick, nearly 40 years after the original. After suffering from throat cancer for more than a decade, it would be his final film. Val Kilmer, dead tonight at the age of 65.
Something raw, something holy. You could see it in his eyes as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. A performance so raw, so broken, it felt like a man offering his soul through every whispered word. He wasn't just playing a dying man. He was channeling grief, love, guilt. It was real. Hollywood didn't know what to do with him. They wanted pretty, easy, obedient. Val was none of those things. He wore the cape in Batman Forever. For a moment, he stood as a blockbuster titan. But the cowl suffocated him. He clashed with the studio, with the director, with the mask. He walked away from the franchise, from the money, from the fame. Because it didn't feel true, because truth mattered more than millions. Behind closed doors, people said he was difficult, intense, eccentric. But those closest to him saw the man who wrote poetry at 3 a.m., the man who collected letters from fans and cried reading them. The man who painted, who wrote plays, who loved his children, Jack and Mercedes, more than the spotlight. He wanted to be present. He wanted to be a father. Hollywood called it stepping away. He called it life. Then, the silence. In 2014, he was diagnosed with throat cancer. He refused surgery at first. He believed his faith, Christian Science, would guide him. He prayed. He suffered. He nearly died. And when he survived, he had lost something Hollywood could never replace: his voice. He could no longer speak without pain. His iconic voice, the voice of Batman, of Jim Morrison, of Iceman, became a rasp, a whisper, a ghost of what it was. Directors stopped calling, scripts dried up, paparazzi forgot. And Val? He turned the camera inward. He began filming his life. Decades of home footage, letters, behind-the-scenes moments, heartbreaks, dreams. The result was Val, a documentary like no other. Narrated by his son Jack, it showed us the truth. The man behind the myth, the father, the artist, the broken boy who never stopped dreaming, the warrior who didn't want pity. He just wanted to be heard, one last time. In 2022, he returned. Top Gun, Maverick, a single scene. He didn't speak much. He didn't need to. His eyes told the story. Years of loss, of struggle, of love, of gratitude. Theaters erupted in applause. Fans cried. Tom Cruise, his old rival, embraced him with love. For that moment, Val Kilmer wasn't just a comeback story. He was proof that vulnerability is the greatest strength, that scars are beautiful, that broken doesn't mean defeated, but time is cruel. Pneumonia struck hard. His body, weakened from years of treatments, could not fight anymore. On April 1st, the man who had once been larger than life, who had loved, lost, and soared, slipped away. Quietly, with dignity. No final performance, just peace. But Val's story didn't end there, because stories like his echo, through time, through memory, through every artist who dares to be different. This isn't about a movie star who died. This is about a man who lived, who dared to defy what Hollywood demanded, who sacrificed the spotlight for authenticity, who raised his children with grace, who faced death not once, but twice, and returned with art, with love, with truth. Val Kilmer showed us that even in silence, you can roar, that when your voice fails, your soul speaks louder. So if you're watching this, remember, your voice matters. your truth matters. You don't have to be perfect to be unforgettable. You just have to be real, be raw, be honest. If Val's story moved you, share it. Let someone know they're not alone. That pain doesn't define us. What we create from it does. That dreams delayed are not dreams denied. That even a whisper can shake the world. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. You taught us how to live, even when life tried to take everything away. And you'll never be forgotten. Not today. Not ever.